From the Activity Athletic Center here at Chaminade High School, it is the Gary Charles Hoop Classic. Fun day of hoops, starting off our 4-game coverage. It'll be the Knights from Mount Vernon. First Connecticut at Blaze Pizza. There is no wrong way to play. Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Zendon Hamilton, and it should be a terrific afternoon of hoops here. We've got 4 matchups, Z, and starting off, it's Holy Trinity, it's Mount Vernon. Listen, if you like your basketball played hard-nosed defensively, 2 teams getting at it on that side of the ball, this is your matchup.
Love it, Dylan. Listen, there's not only one way to affect the game. It's offensively. A lot of kids want to score the basketball and be a star, but defensively is another way you can really impact the game, and these 2 teams are going to show you why. Yeah,
it's not just today. This is ingrained in each of their programs. And first we talk about Mount Vernon, and the Knights come into this. Listen, Mount Vernon is largely, like when you talk Section 1 hoops, when you talk New York State hoops, when it comes to public school teams, this is your standard bearer. It's remarkable what they've been able to do. 12 New York State championships, 5 Federation championships, 36 Section 1 titles. Bob Cimino's guys, year in and year out, they are among the best in the state. Certainly getting off to a good start this year as well. 6-2 on the young season for Mount Vernon. It took some early struggles for this team, but they've kind of turned the corner. They found their way, and they are, again, one of the top teams in the state.
A well-oiled machine, Dylan, and Bob Cimino has been doing the right things. He's built a culture there for a long time, his 31st season.
And 2 guys that he's going to lean on today are our players to watch for Mount Vernon. And you look at their backcourt, Tavian Tyler, Kai Harvey. Bob Cimino says they make really beautiful music together. A terrific backcourt tandem for Mount Vernon.
Yes, Tavian Tyler, let's start with him. A young kid who likes to get into the lane, shoot the basketball well, and he really wants to make his team better, but can score the basketball at 20 points a game.
And Kai Harvey, a guy who he's got the handle, right? And he can also, he's improved his shot as well. But, you know, when Tyler's going, Kai knows to hand him the ball, and Harvey's also not afraid to shoot either. So they make a terrific partnership for Mount Vernon.
Listen, they make good music together, Coach said. One plays the bass, the other plays the piano. We're going to watch them perform today.
That's it. Nothing like a little Sunday early afternoon jazz, right, for you. But so that's the Knights of Mount Vernon. We take a look at Holy Trinity, and listen, in similar form, Z, they've also had an early struggle to this season. In fact, Holy Trinity has lost their last 3 games, but as we mentioned, maybe some struggles offensively. They don't have a lot of size, but they make up for it on the defensive side. Listen, if you play tight, really good defense, it'll keep you in any game, and that's been the case for Holy Trinity as they work through things offensively.
Joe Conifree, his 18th season, he has them doing the right thing in big culture there. He's done well for them, and they're going to have to do things by committee, them being not big in stature, Dylan.
Yeah, they're a team that last year they went 2 full sets of 5, and guys graduated. Obviously, in today's world, guys transferred out. So it's a largely new group this year, but 2 guys who were part of last year's team they're going to depend on today. We'll take a look at our players to watch for Holy Trinity, brought to you by Blaze Pizza. Jagger Verzosa in the backcourt, and Baron Pinsky. He really is a guard. We list him as a forward. Yeah. He's the biggest size they have, but he's a guy who could also shoot the ball.
Yeah, he's a big guy, 6'5", and he has guard skills, averaging about 12 a game and 7 rebounds, and takes the challenge defensively, guarding other guys, small and big.
Our keys to the game for this one, and we start off with the Knights from Mount Vernon, and it is all about playing good on-ball defense.
Both of these teams mirror each other, Dylan. Playing on good defense, they want to play on the ball as well and keep people out of the paint. Obviously, you want to limit turnovers and then push the ball whenever possible, and you get it off the rebound.
And for Holy Trinity, very similar keys, right? Again, it's about limiting turnovers, about playing strong defense, continue, and also limiting those unforced errors. Obviously, an unforced error tends to lead to a fast break opportunity. They want to stop that. So it is Mount Vernon, it is Holy Trinity. Starting lineups in the opening tip when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast fire perfection.
Come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. It turns an athlete into a legend. It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade, is it in you?
Back here at the Activity Athletic Center here at Chaminade High School. Starting lineups being introduced. Let's meet the starters for Mount Vernon. Tyler Harvey, Will Robinson, Heidi Adai, and Dwight Finley for Bob Semino's Mount Vernon Knights. And as you mentioned, there is a good look. You see Semino crossing our screen. 31st season for Bob Semino, a 1975 graduate of Mount St. Michael High School.
His accolades speak for himself. Dylan, a ton of experience impacting his kids.
Let's meet the starters now for Holy Trinity. So Jagger Fragosa a moment ago. Brian Mora into the starting lineup. Ryan Reed, your usual starting point guard, he is injured. Joining them, Jaden Shields, Tristan Thomas, and Baron Pinsky we talked about in our open. For Holy Trinity, their head coach, Joe Conifrey, his 18th season at the helm. Good look there at Joe. Hopewell Valley Central, New Jersey. 1991 graduate, was a Columbia assistant, Merchant Marine, Rider, a graduate assistant at Hofstra, as well as did some coaching at Nassau Community.
Yep, talking to Joe earlier. He's just a bright young man. I'm sure he would laugh if I call him that, but he knows his stuff, and he's been at this for some time in his 18th season.
He has led Holy Trinity to a handful of championships. The Titans overall, 11 in Nassau, Suffolk Catholic League championships, a couple of state championships, a federation title as well. And as you mentioned, when it comes to championships, there's not a lot of room in that gym at Mount Vernon to hang all those banners. An incredible litany of title winning for Bob Semino at the end right now of that Mount Vernon bench. A legendary coach, 31st season at the helm. He was inducted into the Westchester Sports Hall of Fame in 2023. He is Section 1 all-time winningest head coach, and as humble as they come as well.
Just incredible young man that I've spoken to before the game, and you wouldn't see it that he's so humble and he's won so much. I tell you what, with all his accolades, when we go to Mount Vernon, we know who we're going to dinner with.
Yeah, he knows the spots, there's no doubt. You mentioned Bob Semino's name, and I would hope you get a pretty good table there as the Knights with the ball first. There's Tyler, pulls up, front rim, no good, rebound goes to the Titans, and they'll look to run now. Good defense, though, coming back by Tyler to stop that fast break opportunity.
Dylan, I'm not sure if I like that first shot. I want to get to the rim as your first opportunity, just to get a feel of the game.
Rizosa to inbound. Good look inside, and there is the first basket of the game for Thomas.
Snuck in there and got a quick bucket while people wasn't looking.
But Tristan Thomas makes it 2-0 early on for Holy Trinity. Here's Tyler. 3 ball off the mark. Pinsky the rebound. Here's Thomas. And a foul called on Kai Harvey.
Yeah, he got hand, got caught cookie jar there. Again, another jump shot by Mount Vernon, and I'm not sure you want that.
So inbound for Holy Trinity. There's Verzosa. Jagger goes in the corner to Pinsky. Turns, good defense, nice ball movement. That's a three-point shot off the mark, and there was a foul underneath.
There you see Pinsky with guard skills, creating for others, and then sneaks inside for the quick deuce and gets fouled.
Foul by Finley, his first, which will send Pinsky to the line. First one is good.
Pinsky, just a bright young man. Again, he has guard skills, shoot it, pass it, and a high IQ kid.
And he can knock down his free throws as well. 4-0 start for the Titans. We joked with Joe Conifrey before, having played here a bunch, you wondered if maybe the rims would be beneficial for the Titans. A foul underneath against the Titans. Mount Vernon ball.
Like the refs are getting things organized here. Stoppage on the floor.
And a foul on Shields. That's what you wanted, Zendon. You wanted him to get to the basket. Unfortunate there for the Titans. It went off a leg. It'll stay with Mount Vernon, but that's what you wanted Tyler to do, get to the basket.
Tyler is good, and he's a big-time scorer. You're going to see him get to the rim a lot. But just to get a better feel of it, Dylan, especially starting the game off, you want to get to the rim, get some contact, which I'm sure you'll see a lot of.
Here's Kai Harvey. Up top, Will Robinson. Good defense by the Titans. Traveling violation against the Knights.
Listen, it's going to be that type of game, Dylan. You got two defensive-minded teams, two defensive-minded coaches, and people are going to be getting hit. People are going to be jumping out of bounds, lose balls. People are going to be defending the rim. It's going to be that type of game. We're going to make the refs work today.
Yeah, this one likely will be in the 50s. Don't expect 70s, 80s in this one. Here's Pinsky from the top. Hands off, three ball by Thomas off the mark. Rebound goes to Mount Vernon. Will Robinson quick outlet. And now Harvey will run the offense. Adai goes baseline for the layup.
Very nice crossover by Adai.
Verzosa, a little extra step.
Here you see the defense picking up for both teams.
That's the other part of good defense too, right? It sometimes you think too much offensively, so you get those kind of traveling violations.
Sure do. I see Mount Vernon has been struggling a little bit. Let's see if they can get going offensively here.
There's Kai Harvey. Work at baseline. They try to kick it inside. Now that is where there is a distinct advantage. The Knights certainly a larger team. You've got Adai at 6'5", a true forward. Finley 6'5" as well. Pinsky the only one who matches that, but really more of a guard, more of a tall guard, and traveling violation called against Tavian Tyler. Slow start here for both teams.
A little bit sloppy, but they're going to pick it up soon. You got Tyler trying to maybe do a little bit too much, but I'm sure things will work out.
Here's Verzosa. Ooh, nearly traveled himself.
And you see the defense still picking up in the turnovers.
Scoop layup is in. Adai, two more for him.
Guy's off to a good start. And here's the defense on ball, making people feel uncomfortable, and they're going to get into your space.
Pinsky, Verzosa for 3, off the mark. Battling for the rebounds. You love it when they're diving on the court.
Absolutely love it. This is the type of game you want to be in. Again, you don't have to always impact the game by scoring. You see people setting screens. You see people diving on the loose balls, diving on the floor for loose balls and setting screens here.
That's what Kai Harvey did there, as it is Mount Vernon ball, tied at 4 midway through quarter number 1.
See Mount Vernon with a little floppy action. Seems like they're looking inside for the big fella. Goes over the left shoulder for a little jump hook.
Yeah, Dwight Finley gets his first bucket.
No question.
Early lead for Mount Vernon. Verzosa, good cut by Pinsky, and he gets 2.
Just knows how to play, Dylan. 6'5", moving without the ball.
3-point shot, Tyler.
See Tavion getting going early. And you see the full court pressure here from Mount Vernon, trying to make people uncomfortable.
Verzosa maybe going a little bit faster than he would have liked. Quick ball movement, finds the extra. Here's Pinsky for 3, back rim no good. This allows Mount Vernon now to get out and run. And again, trying to feed it inside to a die. And it will be the Titans' ball.
As Bob Cimino told us, whenever they want to get a chance, they want to get out in transition and push the basketball. Try to get to the rim.
Here's Jagger Verzosa, the junior from Franklin Square. Combo guard. Goes to his left. And it looked like the ball deflected out, so it'll stay with Holy Trinity.
Yep, you got Verzosa trying to get to the rim. See them run their stuff here.
Out to Pinsky. Both teams, they'll play man. Pinsky drives, and he was fouled on his way through the lane.
Pinsky doing a great job of getting others involved. Just knows how to play.
Foul on Will Robinson, his first. Verzosa gets it out. Pinsky again. Kicks it to the corner. Little shake, little turn. Back to Verzosa, straightaway 3, in and out. Good look for Jagger, just didn't fall.
Great look. Oh.
Look at a big fella, a dive. 6 first quarter points for Heidi Adai.
Adai getting going early, running the floor. Big man's getting rewarded.
Verzosa 1v4, and that's a charge. Tyler, you love it when your best player draws the foul.
Look, again, this is a defensive game, fellas, and guys are going to be picking up full court. Guys are going to be taking charges, and when you got your best player taking charges, that leads the rest of the team.
And Tyler, a captain, a 3-year starter, was brought up as a freshman, won a state championships, got that ring.
And he's got the experience.
He certainly does.
Here we go with the floppy action again. Mount Vernon. Tried to get it over for the high-low action. Got tipped.
Titans ball. We'll have a couple of subs coming in. Miles Reed, Ryan Reed's twin brother. He checks in.
Great to have a twin brother. You don't know the scout. You got to do a good job on the scout now.
Both 5'8" sophomores from Westbury. There is a difference in their game. Miles may be the more athletic of the two. Good cut by Pinsky. Better rejection the other way. Here come the Knights. Pumping the brakes.
Look at the big fella.
Lefty layup, no good. Foul on the floor.
And the big fella says, you better ring the doorbell before you come into my house. On the rejection on Pinsky.
Foul on Thomas. It is his first. Tyler for 3, it's good. His second triple. of this first quarter. Close start, and it's been all Mount Vernon of late. They've got a 14-6 lead.
Tyler, you see him picking up full court. He can just score the basketball. He's a gym rat. Bob Cimino says he loves to be in the gym, and you can't get him out. And you see the reason why.
Tyler picked up his first foul out there mid-court. Titans, they need a basket here. Again, their struggles offensively, Z, you can't really afford to dig yourself too deep of a hole.
No. Being that they're small in stature, the ball has energy. It's just them a matter of fact of them hitting shots.
Here's Miles Reed, tries to split the defenders, and a blocking foul was called.
Getting a couple, they're running their stuff, getting a couple of ball reversals again with Holy Trinity, doing it by committee. The ball has energy, and the body has movement. So Pimsky with a couple of cuts and gotten into the lane. It's just a matter of them hitting shots.
Foul on Harvey Jimbus, the 6'6" senior. So this will send Miles Reed to the line. First free throw is good.
Holy Trinity definitely has to get to the line.
Well, they have made their free throws at least, right? They've gone to the line twice. They've knocked down all four. Corner three off the mark. Rebound collected by the Knights. A die. Back in the corner again. Caden Tyler. That's what he does. When we spoke with Bob Cimino, he loved when he can get Caden Tyler, Tavion's younger brother, in with Harvey as well as Tavion. The three of them really work well together.
Yep, we talked about that early on. They make good music. One plays the bass, the other plays the piano, and you got this guy playing the saxophone now.
It is Tyler's first, so this will send Verzosa to the line.
Verzosa, hopefully he can get started now. Holy Trinity doesn't want to dig themselves too much of a hole, getting to the foul line, giving themselves opportunities.
First one by Jagger is good. Verzosa, a guy who is the leading scorer, played a bunch last year as a sophomore. So right now playing like that experienced guard, which is necessary on a relatively inexperienced team.
Sure, high IQ kid, and makes good decisions with the basketball. So he's going to be the leader for this bunch.
Mount Vernon ball, 1:21 left. The Knights with a 7-point lead. It's all part of the Gary Charles Hoop Classic here from Chaminade High School. We're so happy you're able to join us on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
See Mount Vernon going to their usual set. Floppy set, looking for the big fella down low.
Another triple. Caden Tyler, front rim no good. And it will be Holy Trinity ball. Maybe a chance here for Holy Trinity, right? You slice into that deficit a little bit. Maybe you're down 4, 5 at the end of the quarter, maybe less.
Sure, let's see if they can get something going. You see the pressure by Mount Vernon.
Zosa, gentle across. Dribble penetration, look at a block from behind. Looking like a young Zendon Hamilton there.
Again, the big fella says, you better ring the doorbell before you come into my house and take off your shoes as well.
That was Harvey Jimbus, the 6'6" senior, started in place of Dwight Finley in their last game. A guy who just mixes it up really well, good rebounder. Joked with, I think he was serious, but he said to Bob Cimino after the last game, said as they were going into the weight room, he said, my back hurts, coach, from all the charges that I took. As Jimbus misses the first.
Well, the charges that he took, and he's definitely protecting the rim for him today. Doing a good job of doing that, and he has number 31 on, so that's also a good thing.
Second is good.
You see the pressure here. Mount Vernon is turning up the heat.
And they force a timeout for the Titans as well.
Coach Joe wants to talk it over, doesn't like what he sees. Mount Vernon up by 8.
Manny Ayeye unable to get the ball in. As we mentioned, this is the first of a long day of hoops. Really, this is the second of 2 days of this Gary Charles Hoop Classic. We take a look at today's lineup. Next up, we'll have Floyd and Baldwin, two of the better public school teams here on Long Island. Eagle Academy, last year's PSAL champion against Hills East. Bishop Loughlin coming from Brooklyn against Chaminade at 5. Lehigh, Southampton, East Meadow, Portledge. All part of a terrific day of hoops that Gary Charles has lined up.
Where else do you want to be, Dylan, on a Sunday? We're not playing. We're not watching football on Sunday. We're in Mineola, New York, Long Island, watching high school basketball.
That's it, all day long.
Here you see the pressure.
And it results, a missed layup. Fortunate for the Titans, and then collision out at midcourt. You could see Jimbis trying to set himself, but he was a little bit late there. The contact, he's called for the foul, which will send Verzosa back to the line.
Something tells me we're going to hear this all day long, like we talked about in the beginning. People diving on loose floors, people getting hit, people getting their shot blocked. I'm sure people are going to start talking junk to each other in a little while. This is what basketball is.
Not on a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. Come on. We all have to get along here.
I understand, but when it comes to basketball and you get that competitive juices going, things change.
So if you're Joe Conifrey, and I just about jinxed it, I was going to say, while things have struggled offensively, you've at least made your free throws, although Verzosa missed the first of this first quarter. Final 25 seconds here for the Knights.
Pick and roll and get missed opportunity. Just wanted to dribble it down a little more and get the better angle to deliver it into the big fella.
Yeah, trying to feed it inside to Joe Holness, 6'8" junior. So again, size advantage certainly for Mount Vernon.
And again, you're going to hear this all. Here comes the pressure. Trying to speed up.
And they results in a turnover as Verzosa unable to get that ball. The time ticked a little bit there, so they'll fix this clock. 10.4, they'll change that to 13. Apologies for the bottom there of your screen. It's 13 seconds remaining, and now the Titans trying to do the same to Mount Vernon. Pick them up full court.
You're going to see this all day long. We are making people uncomfortable out here is what these two teams are trying to do.
Ty Harvey spins. Can we get a last second shot off? No. Good defense by the Titans of Holy Trinity, but it is the visitors from Mount Vernon, the Knights, with an 18-10 lead after one quarter.
Very nicely done. Maybe this game is going to be in the 40s, Bill. Who knows?
Quite possibly. We'll see. Second quarter coming up next here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Back here at Chaminade High School. Good look at the Mount Vernon huddle. Bob Semino right there between 23 and 15. And a look at some of the action here from the first quarter. Mount Vernon did a good job, Zendon, of getting to the basket.
Yep, and you got the big fella running the floor and being rewarded. What do you think they're talking about in the huddle? You think you're talking about turning the pressure down?
I don't know. It seemed to work there at the end of that first quarter, right? As Bob Semino. One thing I know is he's coached a lot more basketball than I can say I ever did. So whatever he's saying, I trust in what Bob Semino says. He is a lifer at Mount Vernon. Said there is no job he'd rather have. This is a calling for him. He is meant to coach Mount Vernon basketball. Loves every second of his job.
Such a humble man. spoken to him early on, and absolutely loves what he does. He doesn't want another job in his life, and like you said, he's a lifer.
Has had some unbelievably talented teams. As we'll have a conversation at the scorer's table. Might be about the possession coming out.
The ref's trying to figure some things out here, organize some things. Not sure what's happening. Having a conversation. We talked about Mount Vernon being one of the best programs around, if not the best, with almost 10 nights from their program in the NBA. I had Ben Gordon as a coach in the G League on his last legs. I hope he doesn't hear this, but he could still fill it up. And one of the best players at his size in the league in his day.
Now, one thing that no doubt likely was discussed in the Holy Trinity sideline is getting some baskets. When you look at their 11 points, only 2 field goals among those.
Well, again, the ball has energy, and you see Pinsky.
Yeah, knock it down, open 3, big shot for Baron Pinsky.
Big part of their offense, the senior, again, making plays.
Pinsky with half of the Titans' 14 points right now. Caden Tyler feeds it inside. In and out for a die. He had a very good first quarter for the Knights. Manny Ayeye. Joe Conifrey loves his potential.
See Pinsky there. The ball reversal. Again, the ball has energy.
Ooh, up and under.
Nice finish by Holy Trinity. Ball reversal and body movement.
Miles Reed. We talked about his athleticism. There he is. Sapinski. Feed inside. Verzosa kicks it out. Miles Reed thought about it. Beats his man. Little floater. Back rim. No good. Rebound goes to Caden Tyler. We go the other way. Pinsky.
See the ball reversal by Holy Trinity. Talked about the ball having energy. You're seeing body movement, ball movement.
Pinsky nearly lost it. Another 3 ball off the mark. That's tough when you know that you don't have the size inside, right? Because if you miss that, more likely than not, you're giving up that rebound inside.
Yes, you are. And see the big fella.
That's a big boy move inside by Chase White.
Chase White really getting it done down there. And you see the rebound by Mount Vernon, and they're looking to run.
Tyler in the corner. And where's the defense there? Missed assignment, no problem for a die.
Right after the score, you see the pressure.
A die with 8 already. Reed, Verzosa, 3 is good.
I'm sure the Verzosa feels a little better trying to get going.
Better from the Titans in this quarter. Kai Harvey with the response on the other side for his first bucket of this game.
Kai Harvey said, what you can do, I can do better.
25-19 lead for Mount Vernon. Verzosa, that was tough. Stolen away by Caden Tyler. Draws the contact, and he was fouled. Good-looking sophomore, gym rat, Caden Tyler.
Yes. Semi-transition. Up to get to the rim and create the contact.
Foul on Miles Reed. His first, and the team's first. Inbound underneath for Harvey. Despite Finley check back in. There's the spot again. Kai Harvey goes back to back with corner threes.
There he is playing that bass, Dylan.
28-19 the lead. Pinsky pulls up. Off the mark, no good. Tyrus Lee, the rebound for Mount Vernon. Knights getting pretty deep into their bench. Here's Tyler. Up top for Harvey.
Looking for the big fella down low. Seals.
Yeah, great
Big body move.
White Finley.
And also sprints back defensively.
You've got to when you played it for Mount Vernon. Tyler for three, in and out. Put back attempt and a foul called. And that's great positioning by number 23 there, Dwight Finley, as he was fouled by Pinsky.
See Mount Vernon just taking control of their size right now and imposing their will on Holy Trinity. Got to stop the bleeding at some point.
So Finley to the line to shoot 2. Rim on the first. Dwight Finley, an interesting case, as you see down low. Finley, a guy who is a football player for Mount Vernon, wanted to get into basketball. So he already has that physicality, has that size, and came up as a sophomore, played a little bit more as a junior, and now he's a starter for the Knights.
I'm sure he loves to be out there. You got a two-sport young man helping out on basketball.
Zosa into the lane, no good. Big boy rebound, put back, Brian Mora.
Love it, absolutely love it. We talked to Joe Conifrey and he said, yes, Zendon, we're small in size, but there's no excuses out here. We're coming out here to play, and we're coming out here to play hard and compete. You see the big boy rebound and finish amongst the trees.
So Mora to the line, the senior from Wantagh. One of those guys we mentioned before, some transfers out, so an opportunity. He's one of the guys who has made the most of that opportunity, had some increased playing time, unable to complete the three-point play, though, is Brian Mora. So here's Kai Harvey. 9-point lead for the Knights.
Pick and roll action. Obviously, they're looking for the big fella. Verzosa taking on the challenge down there.
And he also picked up the foul, trying to battle down low.
I'm sure Coach Joe Conifrey doesn't mind that, taking on the challenge. This is what they have to do. They're small in stature, big in heart.
They actually called a double foul on that. Finley also was called for the foul. Corner 3, Mora off the mark.
Tavion in transition, getting into his bag.
He's feeling it, huh? Tyler off the mark.
Missed there, but a nice miss getting into the lane, into the paint, drawing the defense.
You like the idea, just the execution a little bit off as Mora cut to the basket. Verzosa unable, though, to find him.
Yeah, I'm sure Verzosa wants that back. And here is the pressure from Holy Trinity now, trying to turn up the heat a little bit on Mount Vernon. We have a whistle here.
And I think it was a clock issue that they'll work through here. They'll reset the shot clock to 25. As Kai Harvey. It's inbound. Oh, good look down low. Little pump fake for Tristan Uzzle.
Yeah, Puzzle taking advantage of his size down there, and that's what you're going to be hearing all day long. And here comes the pressure from Mount Vernon. They will not stop.
35-21, the lead now for the Knights.
It's a nice
Tristan
shot,
Thomas.
Nice shot by Tristan.
Strong move down low, unable to finish though, and the Titans come the other way. Look out. And the foul called as Thomas was getting his way through the lane.
Very nice look by Verzosa. Semi-transition, found Thomas, and Thomas took it strong to the rim. Again, Dylan, they're getting their looks from the foul line. It's just about the fact of them knocking it down and taking advantage of their opportunities here.
Tristan Thomas, the 6'2 junior from Elmont, knocks down his first.
This is what's keeping them in the game. Again, small in stature, strong in heart, and they want to get to the rim and create contact.
Tristan Thomas averaging a shade under 11 points a game, 8 rebounds a game as well. Misses the second 11-point lead for Mount Vernon inside the final 2 minutes of this first half.
Here's the floppy action from Mount Vernon. Looking for the big.
The double comes by Mora.
Very nice
defense.
Very nice. This is what they're going to have to do to change things, I think Joan Conifrey wants, because they're taking advantage of their size, being that Mount Vernon. Going to have to start doubling or running and jumping.
Baseline closed off well by Pinsky, but still Uzzle able to get the bucket.
Puzzle, nice move on the baseline, shooting right over the top.
Try to feed Mora inside, intercepted, and now a chance for the Knights in transition. Corner, 3, Harvey, good.
There's that music that we talked about. And he's on the base. You see the knockdown here. Could have been a foul as well.
Third triple of this quarter as Miles Reed was fouled on his way to the basket.
Almost a tale of two tapes here, Dylan. They're getting Holy Trinity to the foul line in semi-transition. It's just about them taking their opportunities and making shots here.
Miles Reed knocks down the first. Kind of a do-it-all type, tough defensively, a guy who makes plays. Miles Reed, great instincts, gets deflections as he knocks down both free throws.
You see Coach Conifrey with the pressure here, trying to change things for them. We have another stoppage here in play.
And I think, again, it's another clock issue, perhaps, as they will figure out.
Had a couple of clock issues here early on, Dylan. I'm sure they'll figure things out here. Great Chaminade High School.
What an incredible first time that I've been in here. I know it's the same for you. What a great venue this is here, this Activity Athletic Center.
Incredible facility ran by Mr. Brian Crimmins.
Right on,
CFO.
right on Jericho Turnpike. Inside the final minute here, first half. Mount Vernon traveling violation called.
Pressure works for Holy Trinity. Sped up Mount Vernon a little bit.
But now what do you get off of that, right? You get a chance now. You got to slice into your lead. And again, Mount Vernon with the pressure. Mora comes away. Pinsky open 3, side rim no good. Caden Tyler ahead of the field. Layup is good by Uzzle.
See if they can get a 2-foot. Well, I don't know if a 2-foot.
Well, Thomas fouled on his way to the basket.
Very nice. Again, we got Holy Trinity at the foul line.
They've done a good job of that.
Yes. It's about them knocking them down, and I'm sure we have stats here that will tell us that. But
well, they got off to a hot start from the foul line. Cooled off a little bit here as Thomas misses his second straight. Good look at a break as Thomas
takes it up strong.
That's the way you foul if you're Kai Harvey. You make sure that bucket's not getting in.
You are not getting any easy baskets here by any of these teams.
Final 30 seconds. First half. Look inside. High off the glass. No good. Who gets the loose ball? The Knights. Little extra. Corner 3. Off the mark, Pinsky the rebound. Now a chance for the Titans to slice away.
Want to get a quality shot here. And the pressure just turns Holy Trinity over, and they're off to the races.
Also with the steal. And then a foul against the Knights.
See if Holy Trinity gets something done here going into the half.
Mora ahead of the field. The
Very
one more.
nice.
Thomas.
Very nice.
Bang.
Very nice.
Thomas wanted the foul call. It wasn't given. But a big triple to end this first half.
And you see the triple. And Mount Vernon going into the half up by 12.
Game 1 of 4 for us here. It's the Gary Charles Hoop Classic. We'll be joined by the man himself, Gary Charles, when we come back from break. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Red ball tennis is a more accessible version of traditional tennis that can be set up anywhere, even in a parking lot. Simply put up a pop-up net or tie an 18-foot string or tape between two chairs or cones. If you don't have a tape measure to make a 36-foot court, you can walk 12 paces to roughly measure 18 feet from the net to the baseline. Use throw-down lines or sidewalk chalk to establish the dimensions. Red balls are slightly larger than a traditional tennis ball with lower compression, so they bounce slower. The game is more accessible, and offering it as an option allows you to meet the needs of all members of the community. Lower bouncing balls create a more relaxed pace, allowing players to carry on a conversation while getting in some exercise. Players will have fun socializing on a smaller court and achieve success, so they come back for more. Don't worry about making permanent changes to your existing courts, which you can still maintain for additional tennis programming. Contact USTA Eastern through social media to learn about resources available for red ball tennis programming.
Back here at the Activity Athletic Center here at Chaminade High School. It is halftime of game number 1 in day number 2 of the Gary Charles Hoop Classic. 42-30 the lead for Mount Vernon. We're joined by the man himself. You knew he'd be dressed well. It's not just a Sunday. This is how Gary Charles rolls. And Gary, so happy you're able to join us here. Of course, you two go back quite a ways. You coached a young Zendon Hamilton.
Oh my God! You know what seemed crazy? I mean, we were laughing a little bit just now. But I can remember the time when I had to put Z in my Porsche. I was driving a Porsche, and his leg was up in my dashboard, and everything else. But we were just doing what we had to do to get to one place to another. Yeah, that's my guy, right here. So, yeah, I did coach him and had a great time doing it.
Yeah, so Gary Charles, a terrific career, obviously, with the Panthers, a grassroots legend here on the island and throughout. And Gary, this is day number 2 on listen, you put together a terrific slate of games. You had some great games yesterday, great games here today as well. This has, to just arrange this whole thing, there's got to be months and months of work.
No, it is, because I typically start actually in March of the year before, because you don't want certain schools to fill out their schedules, because some schools really get it done, early. But it's always a touchy thing, because you don't know where kids are going to end up at, because you will ask certain schools to come in based on their roster. But by September, when school starts, the roster will be different.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to go, never mind, okay? We don't want you anymore. So it's always a tricky game, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's like a year process to make this happen.
Well, Gary, there's been some unbelievable players who have played in this tournament through the years, and we'll take a look at some of those guys as well. In multiple years you've been doing this. Here's a look at some of the best guys, and these are guys who are doing it obviously on the next level as well. Devontae Green, Luhai, Kadadri Richmond as well. Jared Roden, what a great player he was at Baldwin. Shamari Pons, we all saw him at St. John's, at a Thomas Jefferson. And even this list, like Brandon Storrs right now is senior, one of the best players in the Catholic League for St. Raymond's. Savian Lewis, what a great job he did for Hills East. But these are all guys, I'm sure you're proud when you see them do their thing here in your tournament, and as you kind of continue to watch them going forward.
Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen, what the outcome's going to be with certain kids, or not. My main thing always is to get competitive game as best as possible. But, it's always a thrill years later to watch them in college and to see just the way they pan out. Like take a look at the kid Mike O'Connell, who played here at Chaminade and now is starting going golf at NC State and helped them, last year. And so you go and you smile because you remember him.
Sure.
Other times. So there's some guys you just go, I'll remember when. Okay.
Speaking of remember when, so to kind of play off a phrase of your tournament, you wear many hats, right? This is one hat as a tournament organizer, but also, again, we mentioned too, for the long time, coaching the Panthers, AAU, and traveling the country. Look at this list. And you knew, Zendon, you would make this list. Look at that. Gary's got you as the most important player. How about that list? And this I didn't even mean to put the pressure on you, Gary, but this was a tough labor of love for you. We originally asked you to say, hey, who are your top 5 guys? You said that is impossible for me to do. And you can see why on this list of legends of the game.
Yeah, I just got to tell you something that I learned a long time ago. Try not to tell people who your top players are, because you never win. Because the phone calls comes in and everything. And, and everyone think they were the best player. They all thought they were Michael Jordan. Okay? So, and it's always hard to say, no, you weren't. You were good, but you weren't. And the other thing is this, is that just because, let's say, you were a top player, the Panthers does not mean it might translate into the NBA or whatever, but didn't stop from the things that that particular kid did. There's a young man here that I did forget to put on the list who absolutely belong. And honestly, he might be one of the top 5 of all time, was Khalid Al-Amin. I don't think I saw him.
We had him. He was most ferocious.
Okay,
yeah, we got him in there.
The fiercest competitor I've ever, coached. There you go. Khalid Al-Amin was just unbelievable. And obviously for Zendon, the reason he was the most important is that he was a top 5 player when he played. I don't remember when I had him, 5th grade, 6th grade, but I'm being funny. But the point was, he is the reason that we were the first program to ever get a shoe deal from a shoe company. We were the first one, the Panthers.
Being nice.
Okay?
Being nice, Dylan.
And this is at the time with top 5 players with Allen Iverson, Felipe Lopez, Antoine Walker, and Z was on that list, okay, as a young player. And because of him, Sonny Vaccaro gave us the first shoe deal ever. So that's the reason why he was nominated as the most important player of the program. He got us off and going.
There you go, Z.
We're doing too much here.
Yeah.
We're doing too much.
Gary, we thank you for joining us. We have to get back now to the second half, but great, awesome stuff. We are so happy that you're able to have us here as well, and we're glad to share in some of this on this great Sunday afternoon.
You got it. Hey, do your job, guys. Do your job. All good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here you go, Gary Charles. organizer here of this terrific tournament. Former coach of Zendon Hamilton. Z, we made sure we didn't get into any stories there of back in the day.
Well, I will say this. I've had a ton of coaches and mentors going to St. John's and being around Lou Carnesecca, as we talked about other times. But Gary was the first, okay? And what he really cared about is your well-being as a man, or what you were going to be. So a lot of us really who did have father figures, who didn't have father figures, were around Gary Charles, and he helped a lot of us, as well as myself, gave me a lot of knowledge and a lot of care.
So Pinsky getting to the line. The Knights did a bunch of that in the first half. Knocks down the first.
Dylan Pinsky's been doing a good job. Really impressed with him.
Yeah, he's perfect right now from the line. 4 of 4. You add a layup, or a bucket, I should say, as well as a 3. That's Pinsky's line right now. It's a 10-point ball game.
You see Holy Trinity going to a little zone. It's like a little 2-3 here to try to slow down Mount Vernon.
Tyler in and out. Rebound popped back out to Adai. Harvey pulls up. Tough jumper. Kai Harvey really got his shooting legs under him in that second quarter. 3 3-pointers for him. And now our turnover, we come the other way. Adai!
Big time finish by Adai.
10 for Adai. And again, you go from a 10-point game back up now to a 14-point game. Into the lane, Verzosa.
And I'm sure Verzosa likes to see that and feel that he's getting going now.
8 for Verzosa.
Back in the 2-3 zone, Dylan, they got to really make a conscious effort of rebounding the basketball.
Harvey again. Off the mark, no good. Thomas nearly lost it in his legs. And Verzosa comes the other way. Back to Thomas. Here's Pinsky now. Lost it. Harvey to the basket. No good.
Probably wants that one back.
Thomas took a little bit of a deflection. See that defense by Mount Vernon suffocating as Pinsky tried to get to the basket. He was fouled on his way there. Foul against Jimbis.
Sure, we don't have the stats, but I was going to say Pinsky's gotten to the line a ton. And it's just because he knows how to play in those angles.
At 4 of 4 from the line for Pinsky. Here's Thomas, the pull-up. Front rim, no good. Pinsky rips it down.
Very nice.
Loses it, though, on the floor to Dwight Finley. Knights try to go quickly the other way and took a deflection.
This is just ragtag basketball out here defensively, and Holy Trinity has to make it that way to make it a game again for them.
Good look there at Kai Harvey. What you like, Z, I think, about the Knights, the way they're playing is it is a collective effort, right?
Yes.
Kai Harvey gets the hot hand, try to feed him. Get it to Tyler, get it inside. They have found multiple ways to score the basketball, including using the size inside as Jimbis gets the bucket inside, and a timeout is called.
Coach Conifrey wants to talk it over, doesn't like it, and Jimbis is just taking advantage of his size down there. Got the easy deuce.
Blaze Pizza is offering a family meal. Z, you're going to like this. It feeds up to 5. You pick any 3 pizzas. Their 11-inch original dough or their thick crust, plus any 2 sides, any dessert, salad, cheesy, and cinnamon bread for an incredible deal of just $35. That's right, just $35. You feed a family of 5 Or if you're really, really hungry, you feed 2 of us.
Hold on. But before you told us about this, I told you I like pepperoni. I'm a spicy guy. Now you're talking about dessert now, too.
You got it all right there. You got some cheesy bread. You got your meatballs, dessert, salad if you
What's
are
in the
so
dessert?
inclined. There's a lot of options here. You got your cinnamon bread as well, all brought to you by the fine folks at Blaze Pizza.
I'm definitely up for that.
Well, you will be up for it in about halftime of the second game. Get a little food review action. Jagger Verzosa kicks it. Thomas, corner 3 off the mark. And again, a missed 3. Generally for the Knights, that means an uncontested rebound.
Tyler Verzosa.
Harvey. The fake, here's Will Robinson. Back to Harvey inside. Great look down low. A dive for 2 more.
You see them throwing it over the top to Hadai, and the rotation just a little bit late.
12 for Heidi Adai.
He's made an impact today, though.
Yeah, he averages 9 a game. Verzosa starts. Mora on the baseline, and he was fouled, and he'll go to the foul line.
See over the top, and you see the rotation just a little late. Got to get there early, especially with big fellas. Don't want to give them free layups, especially when you're down this much. You want to get there early, make them earn it from the foul line.
So Mora misses the first of 2. Second is good. She mentioned if you're Joe Conifrey, the Holy Trinity coach, listen, you prefer to play man, right? But you've got to do something here. And again, they're back into their 2-3 zone. The year they won the championship a couple years ago, they became a zone team.
Yeah, you got to try to mix things up, especially when you're down, and just try to throw a wrinkle in there. See if we can slow down Mount Vernon a little bit.
They're still getting the offensive rebounds, though.
That's one of them you have to stop. And again, they do it collectively. Just got to tough it out and really rebound the basketball. Here we go.
Baseline, no
Pimsky.
good. But another offensive rebound. And a third. And you get a basket out of it by Harvey Jimbis.
They are really ferocious on the glass, being Mount Vernon.
52-35, the lead for Mount Vernon. Pinsky feeds the corner, 3-ball off the mark. Good rebound by Reed. He was stripped, though. Here comes Mount Vernon the other way.
See the big fella benefiting, running the floor.
And 2 more. Jimbis with 6 in this quarter. The lead up to 19.
See the pressure doesn't stop for Mount Vernon.
Reed off the mark.
We're off to the races.
We are. Harvey kicks it. Corner 3. Buckets.
The gym rat, Joe Conifrey, doesn't like it. Mount Vernon running away with it.
Tavian Tyler from the corner. Another triple.
We talked about him early. He can score the basketball. Loves to stay in the gym, live in the gym.
57-35. A look at our upcoming schedule. Tuesday night will be in the Bronx, Castle Hill section of the Boogie Down. Has a great rivalry there. Stepanak and St. Raymond's, both teams winning last night. Stepanak beating rival Iona. St. Raymond's beating rival Cardinal Hayes. And then it's the Battle of the Boulevard. Holy Cross, St. Francis Prep, a packed gym, no doubt, Friday night. You and I will be out in Astoria for a renewal of a rivalry. McClancy, St. John's Prep, that should be a fun one on the 17th. Little hockey action, Kellenberg and Chaminade hit the ice February 7th, and then Syosset, Massapequa, January 24th. All those games presented by Blaze Pizza, all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Listen, I'm getting hungry. Every time you say Blaze Pizza, I'm looking for some pepperoni. You said dessert. I might be looking for some ice cream, for some cake.
Z, we got you. It's coming up. Patience, my friends.
Got Verzosa here bringing it up. Let's see if Holy Trinity could get some things going.
And I think the key right now for Holy Trinity, right, is to do just this. Try to get yourself to the basket. You're not going to make up the deficit on one possession. That said, we go the other way, and the Knights, they are flying. Heidi, a die, 2 more.
I think he's up to 14 now, and he's just benefiting from running the floor.
Pinsky stripped, gets it back. Verzosa, jumper in the lane and gets the friendly rim.
Very nice. See what Holy Trinity has defensively just to try to throw a wrinkle in there and stop the onslaught from Mount Vernon.
Harvey to Zion Watkins. Corner, triple. Tavian Tyler.
Tyler is just scoring the basketball now. Will, he's feeling it. He's on fire, and he's going to continue to shoot the basketball.
All 12 of his points from beyond the arc.
You see him with the pressure here. Doesn't just rely on his offense.
Pinsky 3 off the mark. And we mentioned it before when he took a charge. When your best player is also digging in defensively, even with a sizable lead, that is the sign of a true leader, as Zion Watkins gets his first 2 of the game.
Not only a scorer, a big-time leader, Tavian Tyler.
He was instrumental to lead the Knights to their 36th Section 1 title last year. Good move there by Reed Zendon.
Yep, and you see the big taking the charge. Like we talked about, Tavian Tyler setting the precedent and his team taking what he does into account, following his lead.
I think what you like there from Miles Reed, too, is ball protection as he drove in, drew the contact, tried to get the N1, goes to the line, misses his first free throw, though.
Love the way he seeked the body out and the extension at the end.
0 for 2. Possession, though, stays with the Titans. It's been a struggle for Holy Trinity, not just today. They've lost 3 in a row. They went down to the Monsignor King tournament, won their first. Pinsky inside for 2.
Pinsky sneaks on a back screen.
Then the Titans
look like we're in a matchup zone now. Just trying to throw a wrinkle in there.
They lost to Hughes from Ohio, and then the Moore Catholic from Staten Island. They returned to league play. They played St. Dom's Friday night, but the Titans lost 67-58. So 3 losses in a row. A difficult day today, but again, it's all about chipping away for the Titans.
Sure, I'm sure they're looking to rebound, get back on the winning track. See Verzosa here, they're in their matchup.
Final 7 seconds. Oh, a shot clock violation.
Very nice. Maybe this can get them started.
So 5 seconds left here for the Titans. Third quarter.
See if they get one.
Verzosa short. And it was a struggle of a third quarter for the Titans, but Mount Vernon, they were out and they were running. Listen, it's fun to knock down the threes, but how about you get to the basket, Z?
The big fella. Sending it down with authority.
Heidi, a die. He's got the Knights as we have another look at it. They're up 64-39.
Yes, Heidi says, put some respect on my name.
64-39 the lead. Mount Vernon, final quarter coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
The The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. It turns an athlete into a legend. It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade, is it in you?
Back here at Chaminade High School, Dylan Butler, Zendon Hamilton, our entire varsity media crew. Game 1 here of the Gary Charles Hoop Classic. Fourth quarter, and it's the Knights from Mount Vernon, a 64-39 lead.
Very nice.
As Miles Reed gets to the basket.
And that's just bully ball, really imposing his will on the bigger Mount Vernon team, getting to the line. At this point, Dylan, I think Holy Trinity wants to throw the kitchen sink at Mount Vernon just to try to get back in the game, get some things started defensively. Just not sure how they're going to do it. Again, you could pick up full court after this, get some running jumps, and get started.
Well, now what was working well for you early, which was made free throws, now you're missing from the line. So you're further complicating things. And the Knights, they've had some great balanced scoring. That's a foul, though, called.
I think that's a charge.
That's on Caden Tyler, a little push-off.
A little push-off.
But 9 different players scoring for Mount Vernon, led by Hayati Adai with 14, Tavian Tyler with 13, Kai Harvey with 11. So you love it when you get balanced scoring like you do there.
Yes, you do. Tavian Tyler and Kai Harvey playing that good jazz on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, it's music that Joe Conifrey doesn't like right now, but.
No, he doesn't.
Inbounds for the Titans. Again, they're a little bit shorthanded here this afternoon. Ryan Reed, Miles Reed's twin, usually starting at the point as Doug Moody gets the bucket, his first of the game.
Moody showing some energy.
Up and under, no good.
Nice
Thomas the rebounds. And sometimes, Z, you know this, as Verzosa pulls up from 3. As a foul called on Thomas. Sometimes, as a coach, you want to see how your team deals with adversity. And sometimes it's not even about winning today, but it's putting things in motion to win going forward.
Sure, and you're going to try out some things, especially in a game like this. Try out some kids that you haven't played, get them some time, and see how they react to the situation that they're in. Maybe you have some kids that earn some minutes that you want to give some minutes and some time and see how things go and see how they react to when they get into the game and see how they're going to perform.
How about Zion Watkins getting on the court for Mount Vernon, as Bob Cimino thought there was a foul that should have been called there. And instead, Tavian Tyler called for the foul. Layup no good.
I'm sure he wants that one back. Just missed it just by a little bit.
A little sloppy right now as Doug Moody comes away. Thomas off the mark. Joe Holness with the rebound for Mount Vernon. Ooh, nice first step. Oh, tough jumper. Zion Watkins.
Mr. Watkins, left to right crossover in semi-transition. He says, put some respect on my name.
Zion Watkins, 5'11" junior. And again, Knights on the break. Tyrus Lee, usually a defensive-minded sophomore, that time gets to the basket. And now it's 11 different Knights in the scorebook.
Very nice drive and kick.
Corner 3 by Ayeye off the mark. Good D by Reed. Ahead to Moody. Down low. No. says the big man. Joe Holness got his hands on it.
Again, Joe Holness says if you have the ring on my house, you better ring the doorbell because you can't come in.
Tyrus Lee to inbound. Up top, foul line jumper off the mark. Tip ball goes to the Titans. Good job by Thomas running the court for a big man, and he was fouled on his way to the basket.
Very nice move. Again, they've made a very good job of getting in transition and getting to the rim, getting contact, getting to the foul line. Just can't convert somehow.
First free throw by Thomas is good.
Like you said, Dylan, they're short-handed today, but Joan Conifrey says that's not, we still want to keep playing and playing hard.
Second off the mark, 8 points for Thomas as Mount Vernon with the ball. 68-42 the lead for the Knights. This is game 1 of 4 broadcasts that we have for you today from the Gary Charles Hoop Classic. 3 ball off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound, and we start again.
Got to get on the glass.
Watkins. Bob Smino said one of the fastest players that he has ever coached.
That's saying a lot.
It certainly is. High off glass by Deshaun Staggers.
The young fellas call that cookies.
2 more for Tyrus Lee.
There you go. Oh.
And the rejection from behind. There are no free passes, Zion Watkins.
No.
That's the thing that you were saying before. Even though you've got a big lead for Mount Vernon, you're a guy like Zion Watkins. Maybe you're part of that second rotation. You want added minutes. So how do you impress your coach? By having a big lead like this and still playing hard defense.
Effort and energy.
70-42 the lead for Mount Vernon. There's Watkins. Semino calls him a floor diver. Splitting the defense to the lane. Lee, no good. We go the other way.
He's kept it short. Got Pimsky.
Lost it. And there's 2 for Zion Watkins.
Very nice move by Zion. You see him hit him with the body, finish with the left hand.
30-point lead for Mount Vernon. Foul on the floor. We invite you to stick around post-game for the Blaze Pizza post-game show. I'll be down on the court with the victorious team as Ayeye goes to the line. This is a player, Z, that Joe Conifrey is really high on as Ayeye knocks down his first.
Yes, he's raved about Ayeye. Said he's very, very high upside and his potential is almost limitless once he gets himself together.
Yeah, you consider it he's 6'4", but just a sophomore, right? So maybe you get up to 6'7", 6'8".
Sure.
He's got the guard skills, misses the second, gets his own rebound, though. Ayeye kicks it out to Mora. And he'll get the bucket and the foul.
Just talking about Ayeye. Gets his own rebound, doesn't force it, makes a nice pass out for a score.
So now it's Brian Mora, the senior from Wantagh. He brings that, generally speaking, he's in the starting lineup today, but generally speaking, he brings that intensity and effort and that jolt off the bench. Another offensive rebound. Pinsky in the corner. Gets the jumper.
Pimpsky continuing to work, but looks like it's a little too short, too late.
3 ball off the mark. A yay. Turns, quick transition. Layup attempt, no good.
And that's kind of the tail of the tape today, Dylan. Can't miss the easy ones. From the foul line to missed layups, just can't do that in this type of game against this type of talent.
Deshaun Staggers fouled on his way to the basket. And now an attempt for him to get into the scorebook. The 11th player to find himself into the scorebook today for Mount Vernon.
Very nice move here with the floater.
And 2 free throws for Staggers. That's the other thing you got to love if you're Bob Cimino, right? Sharing the basketball, sharing the ability to score the basketball. Yes, it is a lopsided game right now, but still 11 different nights to score the basketball.
And he's a legend like we talked about, done a great job with his program. 31 years. That's a long time, Dylan, of teaching players and young men the right way to play this game. And you see it even with 2 minutes to go. Just a terrific program and a terrific teacher.
Nick Delva knocks down the first.
That's what you want as a high schooler. An experienced teacher and mentor that wants to continue to teach and bring young men into older men, really teaching the game the right way.
Yeye lost it. An opportunity at a layup. And Uzzle will take it. 8 for Uzzle. A part of the puzzle for Mount Vernon. Good defense by Ayeye. How about 2?
Man.
But still, Chase White will get the layup.
Energy and effort, even when they're down. Again, we talked about teaching them the right way. And even when you're down, you're still playing hard. You're still giving effort. You still give it 100%. That's what Mount Vernon is doing.
Titans ball inside the final minute. Holy Trinity ball at midcourt. Titans, it'll be 4 losses in a row. 5 and 6 they'll be now on the season. Inside out. 3 ball off the mark.
And the pressure just doesn't stop. You're Bob Cimino's group. I'm sure he preaches this every day, preaching it for 31 seasons, okay? Listen, if you want to play for me, you better be able to play hard, and you better be able to guard.
Moody with the layup. Final 24 seconds, and the Knights, they'll do the right thing here. As they'll just call the game here. Shot clock was off, so final seconds, as it is a 78-50 win for Mount Vernon here this afternoon. Take a quick break. We'll have the Blaze Pizza post-game show when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
Here comes the 1-0. Hit on the ground to first. Quinn's up with it. Feeds to Varela. It's a no-hitter. And Division's moving on. Nassau County AA champions.
As West barks out the signal. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream events. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Courtside now for the Blaze Pizza postgame show as the victorious Knights from Mount Vernon here alongside and joined by Heidi Adai. And Heidi, great team effort today. A lot of guys getting on the scorebook. It's kind of like the way you guys want to play, right?
Yeah, it's like an OKC mindset. It's like an OKC. Oh, you got me? All right. It's like an OKC mindset. We just want to share the ball, play good, and just play around each other.
I know with Bob Semino, it always starts on the defensive end, and you guys did a terrific job again on that side of the ball.
Yeah, of course, we love defense. We dogs out here.
Well, dogs, they want to eat, right? So, Blaze Pizza, we've got free pizza for all you guys here at Mount Vernon. We've got locations in Hicksville, in Bayshore, up in Storrs, Connecticut, as well as Fresh Meadows, Queens. So, guys, enjoy the free pizza from Blaze Pizza, and good luck going forward. That'll do it here for us from Game 1 of the Gary Charles Scoop Classic. I want to thank our entire Varsity Media crew. Game 2 coming up soon. Baldwin, Floyd, right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.